So like I've gone over in my last two videos, there's been a ridiculous amount of Starfield mods being released. We're currently up to over 1,400 unique mods released onto Nexus Mods. So in this video, I wanted to go over 5 more mods, and we're going to be focusing on weapon mods for this video. Now currently, the vast majority of weapon mods are just going to be recolors or retextures of weapons we currently have in the game, and we probably won't be seeing completely new weapons or complete overhaul to existing weapons for a little bit, maybe even until the creation engine is actually released. So keep in mind, if we go over mods that retexture or recolor the same weapons as other mods, you have to choose between the two. And similar to my other mod videos, all these will be linked in the description if you want to go download them. And if you're enjoying my Starfield coverage, make sure to subscribe. This channel is solely based on Starfield, and we have tons of videos coming soon. So starting off, we have the biggest mod of the bunch with the blacked out weapons pack that retextures a ton of different weapons in the game. And if you just want to select and use some of these retextures, once you go over to files to start to download these, you can either download the entire pack, or you can go through it and just optionally download whichever of the different weapons you want. So you can very easily just pick and choose which weapons you want, especially if you're going to be downloading some other weapon mods that have overlapping skins for certain weapons. Now this mod is going to give every single one of these weapons a much darker aesthetic, and it's going to fully black out or partially black out basically every single one of these weapons. And this mod will include retextures of the Kodama, the Coachman, the Inflictor pistol and Inflictor rifle, the Beowulf, the Hard Target, the Maelstrom, and you can also get it with no red accent, the Drumbeat, the Regulator, the Big Bang, and the Nova Blast. And what's also nice about this mod and a lot of these other mods that retexture or recolor weapons is that they also include mods for all of these weapons. So for instance, if you go look at the Beowulf, which is usually a much lighter white color, all of the mods you put on it are going to be white. But with this mod, the Beowulf is almost entirely black, and then when you put mods on it, all of those mods are also going to be a black color that fits in with the retexture itself. So if you put a scope on it, it's not going to be a bright white on a full blacked out weapon, it's going to be a black scope. Makes the weapons look much better, and they actually look like they were meant to be in the game. They don't feel out of place like some other weapon mods or weapon recolors might. And then next up, we have the Drumbeat random skin pack. Now this mod gives you a choice between 2 different skins for the Drumbeat weapon, either matte black or bismuth. And bismuth is a little bit more out there, but this metal in real life actually has a color similar to this, kind of this partial rainbow of different colors. It still looks pretty cool, looks really metallic. It actually does fit the weapon and aesthetic of Starfield pretty well. And then matte black is just another black recolor, which a lot of the weapon mods are currently sharing. And the reason you have to pick one of these two is because basically all of the weapon mods right now that are retextures or recolors aren't able or just aren't using the weapon skinning system in the game. If you don't know, if you go to a weapon modding bench in Starfield and you go to the very bottom, there's actually a section to choose a different skin, and none of the mods I've seen is currently using this. Probably means they're going to need some other tool to be able to do this. And with this mod specifically, in the description, this mod maker says that once that tool is available to where they can make these skins and put them in that skin selector at the weapon workbench, that he will be adding these as selectable skins. So whenever that tool is released, you'll probably see most of these weapon retextures or recolors just add all of their retextures as a skin selection in that, so you'll be able to download them all and just apply them in game to whatever weapon you want. But again, as of right now, for any of these different mods, you'll just have to choose one mod or one recolor for that specific weapon. And this mod is also still a work in progress, so they haven't finished doing all the different attachments for this weapon. But for the bismuth, I think the white attachments still actually work pretty well, and that's a similar fashion for the matte black. Matte black just ends up working with most other colors pretty well. And next up, we have a pretty simple mod with the black Eon pistol, and all this does is retexture the Eon pistol to have a black finish. Now something you'll notice with a lot of these different mods right now is that even though you can only download one, and a bunch of these mods are doing black versions of a lot of the same weapons, a lot of these weapon retextures actually look pretty different. A lot of them are going about different ways of even making the same weapon black. So one may be a matte black color, one may be a more shiny black color. So even if we go over separate mods that are darkening or just completely making one weapon black, they may still look completely different. So I definitely still recommend going through all these mods to look at which version you like the most. And I threw in this mod and the next mod just because they look so cool. They're actually both for the Eon pistol, and either of these two Eon pistol mods makes me want to go fully mod one of these pistols and use it as my main weapon because they just look legitimately really good. The Eon pistol looks really good fully blacked out. And next up, we have the Dark Stinger retexture for the Eon pistol. And even though the last one we went over was a darkening or black retexture for the Eon pistol, these two look significantly different. The last one was almost completely blackened, but this one has a bit of a different design. It does have some black elements, but it also has a lot of gray thrown in there. This one looks much more tactical, much more like how real world modern weapons are made. Instead of being fully black, there's grays thrown in there, and it's overall a bit lighter, but this one still looks really good as well. This one also includes all attachments as well and recolors the ammo itself, so you're getting a little bit more with this one. And next up, we have the one that may be my favorite, which is the Green Op Beowulf. So this changes the base Beowulf into a green color that's similar to the green op you'll find in a lot of other games. You'll also find this kind of green color on a lot of other weapons in the real world. It's a mix of this darker green and then this lighter green, and it looks really nice in game. Now, I don't think this one actually comes with any other mods that have been recolored, or at least fully recolored, but with that being said, the white mods of the Beowulf actually still look pretty good on this green color, and I think similar to the real world, these type of greens work really well on weapons, especially on the Beowulf. It just looks really good in game. But that's all the 5 weapon mods I wanted to go over in this video. Like I mentioned, these are all just retextures or recolors of weapons, and as of right now, you can't overlap any of these mods, but like I mentioned, at some point in the future, there will be mods or mod tools that will allow modders to make these weapon retextures or recolors and just add them into the skin modification in the weapon workbench. So you'll be able to download as many weapon recolors or retextures as you want, and they'll just all be put on the weapon workbench so you can go reskin them in game at any point. But as of right now, you basically get one retexture or recolor of any weapon in the game. But that's all I want to go over, so thanks for watching.